Miss Nelson. I'm Alex. I'm a student physical therapist from University of Wisconsin-Milwaukee. So I know that you had a hip replacement recently, is that correct?
Yes.
And then you've been having some lower leg weakness in that same right leg?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. In order for me to figure out what's going on, I just have to locate some structures like bones, muscles, ligaments in your leg. Is that okay if I do that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'm going to have you lay down on this table on your stomach first. I'm just going to locate some structures in that hip where you had your hip replacement. Okay. Does this hurt at all?
Yeah, it's a little tender.
Okay. And then does any of this hurt?
Yep, those are all super tender.
No. Okay.
Same with that area.
Okay, and then I'll just have you flip over so I can locate some structures in your lower leg.
That's a little tingle.
Okay, so now I'm gonna measure the range of motion of some of your joints and assess the strength of some of your muscles. Is that okay if I do both of those?
Yeah.
Okay, so the first thing we're gonna measure is the flexion of your right knee. So for this, you can bring your toe or your foot onto the table and then slide your foot back as far as you can towards your butt. And that's the farthest you can go. Okay. Okay, that looks like it is at 120 degrees. Okay, so these next couple of measurements, I'm just going to ask you to take off the sock on your right foot if you're comfortable with that.
Yeah.
Okay. And then we're going to put this foam wedge underneath your legs just so you're comfortable. Okay, so now we're going to measure plantar flexion and dorsiflexion. Okay, so for this test, I'm going to ask you to point your toes up to the ceiling as high as you can go. You're at 0 degrees for dorsiflexion, and then now point your toes down to the floor as far as you can. And then that is at around 34, it's at 34 degrees. Okay. Now we're gonna measure supination of your foot. And then for this, I'm going to ask you to roll your foot in as much as you can, so it'll be kind of like rolling in like this.
Okay.
And that is, you had a range of 3 to 30 degrees for supination. And for this next one, you're just going to do the same thing, but you're going to roll your foot out. And for pronation, you were at -3 degrees. Okay, so for these next tests, we're going to be assessing the strength of some of the muscles in your leg and in your foot. This first one is going to assess the strength of the muscles that extend your big toe up to the ceiling. So if you can just go ahead and point your big toe up as far as you can. Okay, go back down, and then bring it back up towards the ceiling. And then I'm going to try to push you down, and you try to keep it there. Okay, so it looks like you can't take any resistance, but you do have full range of motion, so I would give that a 2 out of 5. For this next test, we're going to assess the strength of the muscles that extend your other 4 toes. So point them up to the ceiling as much as you can for me. Okay, so then I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to try to push them down, and you try to keep them there. So it looks like you can't take any resistance for those either, so I would give that a 2 out of 5 as well. Okay, so for this test, I'm going to show you the position again, and then we'll see if you can hold that position yourself. So I'm going to roll your foot out. Okay. Can you do that position yourself?
No.
Not really? Okay. Let me see if I can feel your muscle contracting. And I can, so I would give you a 1 out of 5 for that test.